we're back, guys. Gridsy session is live right now, 10 p.m. Eastern. We are back. It's great to be up and running with another video, guys. If you're brand new, please make sure smash that subscribe button. 400 subs, just under 400 now to get to the 10,000 mark. We are so close. I need your help, guys. Let's dig in. Smack that red button. Spread the word. I'd really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much to everyone that keeps turning up week after week and watching this big fat muppet and some really sexy looking units over there hang out and join us. So it's great to have you guys here. Hello, Ranger. How are you, mate? Welcome.
Well, after that comment, hey, everyone have a great night. See ya.
He's gone out on a high. He's gone out on a high. Mate, it's great to have you here, mate. Hell of a week, but we'll elaborate a little bit in a minute. But we'll get back to that one. And, of course, Grid. Hello, mate. Welcome, brother.
Hey.
Mate, it's all happening, mate. Melgus is up and about. We're hunting Melgus right now. It's all going off.
Yeah.
Conquest, mate. This is, you're a Swgoh boy, mate. You're right in your element right now. I mean, Conquest is Conquest, but I tell you what, could be a heck of a lot worse right now, yeah?
Yeah, this one, I know that some people are I've heard some complaints about this Conquest, and I don't mean to, piss people off, but I've actually been having a fun time with this one. I really like that they put in some of those oddball bosses. We got Ajunta Paul and Bendick Starkiller. I think it's super cool. So I'm just having a fun time with it, honestly, and I'm trying to figure out ways to make stuff work. And it's been challenging and rewarding. So I'm kind of having fun with it.
It feels refreshing. I think that's what it is. This one, to me, for some reason, just feels a little bit more refreshing. I know that the feats are all there and we've got all that stuff, but it just feels like that this overhaul they've done, it just feels like a better overhaul. I don't know what it is, but I don't feel like, I got to get back into it again, which I think we all felt at some point over the last few.
Absolutely.
So I certainly feel a little bit more refreshed about that. Ranger, how are you finding Conquest, mate? I'm finding it a little bit better, yeah?
I'm indifferent to Conquest now. I just don't care about it anymore. The only reason I'm doing it, it's not for the enjoyment. It's because of it's like Cracker Jacks. If I get a box of Cracker Jacks, most of the time I wasn't eating the Cracker Jacks. I just wanted that prize at the bottom of the box. I was like, dump that out. Oh, there's what I was looking for. Yeah. And that's Malgus. So I'll do whatever it needs to do. I do like some of the changes that they did on this Conquest. I hate some of the other changes. It seems like a step back to me. I'm just looking at those 240 time feats. I'm like, no, please. Because last Conquest, I thought they had the perfect balance of everything. I actually enjoyed the last Conquest a hell of a lot more than I am this one. But I'm not, I mean, it is what it is, so you just put your nose in the grindstone. You do what you got to do. Figure out what you got to figure out. I did have a giggle today with the Sector 2 boss.
Oh my god!
How is
I was
that?
laughing so hard because someone said, "Try this. This will be a really good TV to use, Ranger." I'm like, "Okay, let me try it." Go in there. I win.
Yeah.
What the hell just happened?
Yeah, that was hilarious. Knocking out all the feats in one hit.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
too funny.
I'm sitting here just farming the no lead feat and the nihilist Scion feat. I'm just
I did that too. Yeah.
I mean,
it's a given. It's a given.
Might as well. All right.
Start win.
It's hilarious. Hey, do we do a quick one now just to show everyone that hasn't seen it yet? I mean, they're going to check out your video.
You want to show it? Sure, go for it, brother.
They're gonna check out your video anyway. Before we do that, though, we'll get into it in a second. But before we do that, I do need to do something that I need to honor something that we put forward a little while ago, fellas. I do have to do
my sweet.
Yeah, we set a sub goal, of course, in the channel here to Relic 9 Darker. We reached that, and that's done and dusted. So we do need to do the Relic on that one now. So as promised, guys, here we go. There's the Relic 9 Darker done. As promised, as honored, all sorted.
For the world,
so
for Canada.
We've got a new sub goal. Which is scary. Tuscan Raider is next, gentlemen. Tuscan
nasty.
Raider is next. So we're up and about with that one. That one's going to be a gross one, and that one's at a high level. So we're not even yet close to that. So I'm not too worried, to be honest. But let's do this Conquest that we were talking about a second ago. Let's get down. This is hilarious. So Sector 2, we opened it up yesterday, so it's freaking hilarious. So
my nihilist is on 1% stamina right now. I'm just send it.
All right. Okay, so you chuck in Hermit Yoda lead, right?
It's any non-combative lead. Hermit Yoda, 3PO, Watt, Mothma.
All right, okay. So
Any
let's-
non-combat lead.
so wrong Yoda. Hang on, let me find the other bloody Yoda, the passive one. Hang on 1 second.
That's
Where is he?
right,
He's down
you're
here somewhere.
fair.
Where the hell is he? Come on, where are you, little bugger? There you are. Okay, Hermit Yoda. Then we can do the feats, right? So the feats, we've got...
Yeah, do the Scion Nihilus one.
Yeah,
Might as well
so
knock it out.
Scion Nihilus. You chuck
I
in...
just completed both of mine actually right now.
Yeah, so you chuck in... Well, I mean, this is the other one, isn't it? It's Malik and... Oh, no, that's the kill one, so you can't do that one anyway. So Scion and
Yeah,
Nihilus.
Scion Nihilus. You do have to have at
Just do the
least 4
trio.
people though.
You have to have
Yeah.
4 people. I just put the trio
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
You
Scion,
have to have at least 4.
Nihilus, and chuck in, I don't know, Talon for
Treya,
fun, right?
No, put Treya. It doesn't really matter, but I put. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Actually, let's put in Savage. That'll do. It doesn't really
It
matter.
doesn't
We
matter.
just need 4.
Yeah.
So we're just chucking
I
in
think I have
Savage.
Savage them all.
Okay.
I don't know, Heinz. You've got a Gear 11 character in there. This could go rough.
I know. Well, he needs some love. That's why. But we'll come back to that another point. All right. So you go into battle, right? You go into battle here. We know it's in. Yeah, we know it's not full. So we're going into battle. This is ridiculous. Never seen this before. Let's check this out and have a look here. So we do the battle. And it's over and you win.
And you win.
That's it. An AoE and it's done.
And it's gone.
and they don't deal damage. So like it doesn't matter for gear 1 level 1, literally.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't deal damage. You just win.
You just win. Like you just dead set. You kill that feat. You know, you've got to do it so many times. You just absolutely rip it. It's just absolutely insane. So we're gonna do some other dumb conquest in a little while as well. So hang in for that one. But it's all going off. But yeah, look, we need to cover something. If I can elaborate, of course, it's been a hell of a week. And no one's a winner for it. Make no mistake. It's been pretty rough. I did a video actually with the Knight Brothers earlier today. We released it. We recorded it yesterday, and we posted it. And man, there was some serious comments in that video, both good and bad, and mainly bad. Yeah, I got called all sorts of things, and you know that's cool. I'm good with that. I think I got called a corporate shill, and what else did I get called?
That means you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Well,
Wait.
that's right. It means it means people
What?
care. So I got a fair bit of flack, and that's okay. That doesn't worry me because people think that we speak for CG. Let me tell you, we've been doing this grid for 3 years, mate. And everyone knows I always speak my mind. It's not always right. It's not always wrong, but it is what it is. So I'm going to stand behind some of the that I say, and no one tells me what to do. So straight up, let's be clear about that.
Okay.
But I was a little bit upset. And of course, Ranger, we know that we've seen the video, of course, mate, with yourself. We played that as part of it. So, certainly there was a bit of frustration there. I just want to elaborate something quickly from my point of view in regard to the video that I made. And a lot of people think that I'm angry because I've, certainly lost contact with CG. That's not the case. We still speak to them quite regularly. Obviously not at the moment because, Crumb, of course, is being big daddy Crumb right now, which is far more important. Make no mistake. And exactly right. They're saying in chat, I'm not smart enough to be a corporate shill. That is absolutely correct. That could not be closer.
That's the greatest,
That is the
smartest
greatest
thing
truth
I've ever heard.
heard. Make no mistake. But what I will say is this: is that yes, I was frustrated, very much like Ranger was, and the reason that I was I'm going to say it right now. I was in the program. I was part of that program. I was in the testing program as well. Of course, I never mentioned anything because, surprise, surprise, there's an NDA involved, and you keep your mouth shut when you sign an NDA, right? So I can say I'm part of the program. Like everyone else, I'm not going to say anything else. So, yeah, look, I was a bit frustrated as well myself yesterday. And I hadn't had the chance to actually give my feelings either. And I did that, and take it or leave it. It is what it is. But I hope that gives a little bit of context into the frustration that I had in that video yesterday. And if you guys like it, great. If you've got a problem with it, that's fine. I'm not losing sleep over it. But I just wanted to give a little bit of context into why I felt that way. So hopefully that clears some stuff up overall. But anyway, it's one of those situations, honestly.
am not.
It's one of those situations that really there's no winner. There's no winner at all. Grid, I mean, we haven't heard from you. I mean, obviously, Ranger and I are giving our thoughts. It's been a crazy week, mate. And let me say this as well. Everyone thinks that I like Datacrons or whatever else, or if anyone thought that, you're way off the mark. I'm not, from what all of us have seen, it's all concept stuff. None of it's even real. It's certainly not in game. So I'm not sitting here going it's the best thing since sliced bread. We've all got our own opinions on that, but we're not going to go into that either at this point in time. But sorry, Grid, what do you think about the whole thing? You've seen everything, so this week, mate, because it's been pretty mental.
With the leaks and everything.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, we've lost him.
Oh shoot!
And that's right, we're back again.
He's back.
Sorry, Zoom just
are we back?
glitched out.
Yeah,
Sorry, brother.
you locked up there for a second, like.
That was funny.
Sorry. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, yeah. So with the leaks and everything, I kind of sit on the fence, and there's multiple reasons. If we're just talking about like the leak directly, I'm annoyed as a player that people keep leaking stuff. That's like, I've been annoyed with that for a long time. I mean, we can go back to like 4 or 5 years ago when people constantly kept leaking all this stuff. Like, I'm not defending CG. I'm just trying to acknowledge the little bit of, responsibility that some of these people have in it as well. That's a big part of why the player base don't have a relationship with CG, because people keep breaking their trust, and not even trust, but literal contracts, NDA contracts. Like, I'm frustrated by that because I feel like we keep getting a little bit, we keep doing a little bit better in building a relationship with CG. And I mean, me and you, Heinz, we've had, Meathead and Crumb and Doja and all these people on, and the developers are coming out of the studio a little bit, and they're starting to talk to people, and they'll interact in chats. And like, I liked that progress of mending that relationship. And then we take 400 steps back because somebody thinks they're cool and decides to leak something. So I'll address that first. And these are separate individual things.
Yeah.
Separately, if we're talking about what's within the leak, I'm not a huge fan of datacrons, like in a sort of like in the general sense of, I guess, what they look like, what they kind of represent.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% against that idea, but I do not like how it was, at least, what it looked like in the leak. So I to me, it's almost stupid to even form an opinion about datacrons. Like, they could literally tomorrow be like, scrap it, it's stupid.
Yeah.
What do I know? I don't know. So it's almost like silly to try and form an opinion off of something that was literally illegally leaked, that is in a non-complete state. Like, why am I going to form an opinion about datacrons when I really have no idea what's even going to actually happen? So it just seems like a fat waste of time. I'm like, we seriously hurt our relationship with CG, and now everybody's freaking out about datacrons when truly we don't really know anything until they announce stuff. So net result was super negative.
Yeah.
If we want to play the what if game, if that's how datacrons came into the game, I don't love it per se. There's a lot of things that looked really sketchy. Like, if they're seriously saying the entire squad has to be Relic 9 to activate a datacron, hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it still hasn't addressed any of the other things that still desperately need to be addressed. I don't really want another thing to run for. I truly don't. I need the stuff that we've been dealing with for some stuff 6 years to still be taken care of. Like, can we, instead of investing time and resources and all this stuff into datacrons, or insert whatever you want, the next project, we got to take care of stuff before. Let's take care of some of the previous stuff. Let's take care of some gears, a potential sandbox mode. I would love some type of inter-guild sort of mechanic. Like, maybe that could be the sandbox mode where you can challenge a guild mate to a fight for like ally tokens, just something super easy, just fun little sandbox mode. I would love to see another raid. We still got to get the Death Star raid, but I know that's probably not going to happen. There's so many more things that I want to see before whatever these datacrons are going to be.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't sit super well with me, but again, maybe excluding that, like the inherent idea of datacrons, this like seasonal thing, I don't, why? Like, let's take care of other stuff first and then maybe address that next year. Yeah, no, like
yeah.
we don't really have to take care of that right now. That's just my personal take on it. And so it's kind of like three individual things. We stop leaking stuff and stop hurting the relationship with CG. It is slowly being repaired, amended, and it keeps getting kicked. So that's one individual point. Second, it's a leak that has no official statements on it. So why are we caring so much until it actually becomes official? Then I'll get mad. And if we're playing that it's going to be real, I don't really like it. And I think we need to do more stuff before we address the datacrons. So I think that's everything.
No, that's a fair take. That's a fair take. I don't think. Look, I don't think any of us disagree with that in any way, shape, or form. That's the thing. So it's certainly one of those situations where, yeah, I mean, you know, as far as repairing the relationship and stop.
Real quick, there's a comment there saying we didn't hurt our relationship with CG. We did.
Oh,
somebody
100%.
literally broke the law.
The beta test
literally
program is dead.
Yeah,
it's no more. It no longer
law.
exists. So
does that excuse this idea of datacrons and what CG is trying to do? No.
Yeah, that's
but
too
it also,
topics.
in the same breath, doesn't take away from someone literally breaking the law to leak something that didn't do anything except for sow discord among the community. Like we're playing off of, yes, they confirmed that it's official that they're talking about datacrons, but what does that do? If that came out in 2 months or 6 months or next year and they're like, here's datacrons, and even if it was in the exact same condition of the leak, then I would be mad because then it's legit. Then it's real. Then it's CG saying, hey, this is what we are putting in the game. But right now it's a leak that has no merit whatsoever of what's actually going into the game until they confirm it. So all it did was piss off the community. Everyone's like, oh, datacrons are trash. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Who knows? Because it's not a complete project. That's like if you took the wheels off of a car and said, this car sucks. It's like, duh, it's not done. Like, so I'm not defending CG. I am not defending the person who leaked. I am saying both parties have guilt, and it makes no sense to pick a side and be like, oh, well, they just leaked info and we're responding to it. Yeah, but you're responding to a incomplete project that we don't even know what it's truly going to look like. So why waste time getting mad about it? I don't get it. I truly don't. Like, it's not in the game right now. Maybe, you know, if they're like, yeah, that's what we're going to do, then we can raise some fire, you know, go grab the pitchforks, be like, this is stupid. Why are we putting this in? And then maybe they'll hear us and then maybe they'll change their mind. I don't know.
I hear you. And that's the issue that we've got. And I mean, you know, we say datacrons are trash and, you know, they shouldn't be in the game, or they should be, or they need to be fixed, or they need to be better, or whatever else. The fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter now because there's no line of communication anymore. Make no mistake. Like, that's it. That's been cut off. There's no opening communication again. Maybe down the track, but I very much doubt it.
It's like dead. The beta program?
It's dead. It's dead. It's completely dead. Now, I know all the answers I'm seeing in chat right now, all the questions.
Yeah.
I'm still under NDA. I know where datacrons and all this stuff is. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't do that because I gave my word.
Yeah.
I signed a piece of paper, but on top of that, integrity. I know all the answers to all the stuff you guys are saying in there. You can say whatever you like. I know the answers, but I can't speak to it because it's called an NDA.
Yeah.
I could answer all these questions and really put a lot of stuff to bed. It's not my place, and I'm not allowed because I gave my word, and that's a big deal, you know. But I can tell you the relationship. I mean, I've always had a relationship with CG. I got into the beta program back. I used to be in it. Then I got out because I didn't feel like they were listening to us. So I said, screw this. I'm not putting in this work. I got out of it. Then I got asked to come back in by people from CG. Said, we really want your input. Come in here. We really want you to be Ranger and say Ranger things. And I did. And that's the thing that really upsets me is when I've lost that kind of communication with some of that. The thing I'm most upset about is for the beta program testers, that these men and women that don't get paid, they did all this work. Whether you think they did a good job or not, they still try to put the effort into at least, you know, do something positive for the game to make the game better. You know, humans being all that we are, You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
did the best
Same
we
thing.
could
I mean,
with what we had.
and that's the same thing. I mean, you know,
And it's all gone, and
yeah.
they just got trashed
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
They've lost
and
everything that they worked on, all this relationship and trust. It's gone.
Yeah.
And
That's the frustration, and that's the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
and like,
you know, I was brought on for exactly the same thing. I just want our game to be better. That was why, you know, certainly it was a great opportunity to make the game better and to give feedback, because we all speak to so many people in the community. It was an obvious, you know, it was an obvious concept, and and that's the frustrating part, because now it doesn't matter. It's just erased. It's gone.
So somebody said that, or was it CG punishing the entire player base because of the actions of most likely one person is very unprofessional. Look, I mean, maybe in a snapshot that statement makes sense, but it doesn't, because we've been at this. I don't know how long this player has been playing the game. I've been here literally since week 1. There has been constant problems with the game changer program, beta tester programs, all sorts of these different programs where they keep saying like, okay, here, all right, here we're extending, let's try this again. This is like the 4th attempt that, like, when people are saying like, oh, it's not a big deal, they leaked a screenshot of what they were planning on doing anyways. NDAs are a big deal. Depending on your job, that can be years of jail time. That can be millions of dollars in fees. And we're not even talking about the company themselves. Like CG, if they are extending the trust, and that's why you have an NDA, so they don't break that. If they are giving exclusive information, or whatever you want to call it, testing programs to people, and then those testers go and spread that information, breaking an NDA, that doesn't look good on the company either. Again, I'm not defending CG, but you're I don't know how to say this less offensively, but you are seriously missing something if you think that's not a big deal, that a company's, not employees, but their beta testers, people under NDA contract, are breaking that contract. That's a big deal for CG. So are they punishing the whole player base because of one person leaking? Yeah. Probably. Just like if there's a teacher and you have your one student who's being a freaking jerk in the back, being loud and disruptive, and then everybody gets punished for it. I don't agree with that, but what do you do? You can't just be like, all right, here's this one person. Yeah, all right, no problem whatsoever ever for the last 6 years of what these people have been going through, what we've gone through. We're planting the seeds, and we're sowing what we planted, unfortunately, and that pisses me off, because I felt like the player base was doing pretty good on mending that relationship with CG. Yeah. So it sucks. I'm not saying anybody is solely responsible. I'm saying there's responsibility on players. There's responsibility on people who have leaked stuff. There's responsibility on CG. We all got responsibility. And if you just try and pin one person, frankly, that's stupid. It's a more complicated issue than just that. Yeah. So they have to.
I'm seeing in chat as well. They go, hey, they should just hire people to do that. Okay, they hire people. Here's an idea. People that play the game for the last 6 years have a better idea on the game than someone paid to play it and try it. Make no mistake. They're going to pick out smart people that know how this game operates, that have been playing it for a long time and know the mechanics inside out, so they can hit the ground running and pick out things that are different. I don't think that'll solve anything, and that still won't even necessarily stop leaks. It just wouldn't. If someone's going to break an NDA, they're going to break an NDA. I don't think that matters. So
I don't care how much vetting you do, and there's vetting done.
Yeah.
Any position in any company, there is some vetting done, right?
Correct.
So
yeah. And I mean, yes, somebody said maybe CG is bad at choosing who to trust. That's why you have a contract.
There's
legal implications.
That's
so I mean, while I'd love to just be on the honor code here, no, that's why you have contracts. That's why you have legally binding contracts to say, I'm not saying anything. I'm not going to do anything with any of this. And then you don't have to just trust them. You kind of hope that they're going to, they have legal implications. And so if they break that, that's 100% on them. It's not a trust thing. It's not, I mean, yes, there is trust and integrity, like Ranger's saying, but that's where the safety net of an NDA is supposed to come in.
Right.
And these guys are still breaking that. And that baffles me.
Yeah.
That blows my mind that somebody could sign a contract like that and just be like, we're putting it out there. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, what? And even though, again, people are still saying like, oh, well, it's just we're reacting to how bad datacrons are. We don't know what was, even
You don't have
if
all the
that was the final
information.
product, I still would not be like, I'm glad you guys leaked that and broke your NDA and ruined the entire relationship with the player base with the developers.
Yeah.
I would prefer having datacrons than ruining the relationship that we just had.
Yeah. Someone mentioned as well in chat, if we want to cover this as well, Ranger, because I know, we obviously played the clip the other day where, you wanted to physically harm someone, the leaker, when you find him. I think that was obviously in a moment of frustration. I don't think he's going to go out and actually punch someone's lights out. But
Yeah, that's what I felt like doing. I mean, I don't listen. I don't. I am who I am. You can take it or leave it. You don't like it. I don't care. I mean, I'm not here for a popularity contest. I mean, I was at that moment. Maybe I could have chosen my words better, but I can't stand that crap. I mean, I really do. I'm an ex-Army Ranger. Honor, integrity. These aren't just words to me. These are things. These are values. These are things that are part integral to my life. When you do something like this, I look at you as like just garbage. I mean, just like why? You can have the best explanations in the world, but when you affect that many people and hurt that many people, I get angry. I get really angry.
Yeah.
And I've always been something. I say how I'm feeling, and it may not always be the right thing to say. Maybe violence against the person is wrong. I mean, that probably was the wrong thing to say, but do I have ill will to that person? You bet your ass I do.
Yeah.
I really do, because you've destroyed just all this hard work and effort and trust and relationship that's gone in for what? What did it accomplish? It didn't accomplish anything. And the most frustrating thing about this is that I know the communication that I was having with CG on a daily basis. All the issues that we brought up are being hounded and beaten into them every day. And we have our constructive conflict that we have. I know that channel of communication was open, but Jesus, it bothered me tremendously. It really hurt. I was angry.
Yeah.
I was livid. I had to really calm myself, because I'm known to go on rants, and I was pretty calm at that point, considering how upset I was about all this work and effort just gone. Communication gone.
Yeah.
Everything done. All the hard work that I know, not for myself. I'll still have a relationship with CG.
Yeah.
But for all these other people, these anonymous, nameless people that can't say anything, that can't defend themselves or talk about this, or even some people at CG that have been fighting for the player base, that wanted this program to be something good, and it's all gone. So
yeah.
So
the frustration is understandable. I think that's what it comes down to. And I mean, hey, we've all been bloody angry. I'm Australian. We all get really, really pissed off at one point, one way or another. That's just fact. That's life. That's just human nature. And I think that was just one of those moments where, I mean, and you've been, look, I mean, I'm not going to pee in your pocket, but make no mistake, mate. Since you were outed by Crumb as the master beta tester, that probably didn't help much. And along the way, you've certainly, you've had to defend a lot of things along the way there. To be fair, so that's pretty rough too.
At any point at any time, I could have easily just broken my NDA and just, talked about stuff. I had to really be on my P's and Q's, and I try to be as open and honest with people about, we had even had Chrome on. We talked about some of the stuff that the testers were involved with, but we couldn't ever talk about like the process for testing, how far along the process, what was in, what was out, how did all that stuff work.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to. It's not that I wouldn't mind talking about it, but if the company decides that that's the thing that they don't want us to discuss, then I agreed, I signed, I gave my word, and I'm not going to talk about it. And if you feel frustrated by that, I'm sorry, but it's the company's, it's the company's product, it's their show. And if I want to be a part of it and try to change things from the inside, then that's the rules by which I had to play with. So
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, straight up. It is. All right, guys, let's get down and we'll have a quick chat about Melgus. We covered him a little bit the other day. I've got a Relic 9 put aside already. I will very, very soon. He's going to be gross. I like it. It's going to be fun. I mean, look, it's a Conquest character. It could be, is it fair to put someone like Melgus in Conquest, boys? Let's quickly talk about that. Let's finish today's conversation on that. Would you have liked to have seen him released in a different way? Or are you happy that he's in Conquest or not? Because I haven't actually really discussed that with anyone yet.
I love it personally.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it's really cool to just give a taste of what might come. Obviously, things are very different for, conquest characters to, GAC matches with, all of your mods and blah, 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 blah. I think it's cool. I think it's a fun way to just kind of see like, hey, this is, kind of what you can look forward to if you, complete this. And I think that's fun. It's kind of like when they switched the ultimates for JML and C, where you got the ultimate during the ultimate tier.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to be like, here's a little taste of, what's coming. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you get to play with this toy when it comes out soon. Have fun with it. Enjoy. It's pretty much like that. No, I'm absolutely thrilled. I think, it could be released in a lot worse way. We could have, like we're doing with Inquisitors at the moment. You could have 5 characters to unlock him or something crazy like that. And I think, the Inquisitors, man, that's a rough farm. I've got all mine done. I'm not proud of it, but I've got them. Still don't even know if they're any good, but I've got them. I'm certainly happy that he's a little bit more reasonably accessible for anyone that plays Conquest with a reasonable roster. I think you're going to get a pretty good chance of unlocking him in a reasonable, point in time. I think he's a pretty good way to go, fellas. Pretty happy with that one.
Malgus is sick. Let's just be real. Looking at his kit and stuff, and oh boy, he's a fan favorite. If you have seen enough, some people didn't know who Malgus was, but a lot of us that are Star Wars fans just know who he is. He's well known for the cinematics, but I think they did a phenomenal job on his kit. And just thinking about him with the Revan team, I salivate just thinking about it. So I'll do whatever it takes. Honestly, and just we were talking about this on my stream today real quick. You only need to get, if you get the $9.99 pack, do not get the $29.99, please don't. But if you get the $9.99 pack, you only need 2 gold crates and only 1 red crate. So if you're behind the 8 ball like I am with Inquisitors, get the gold crate this conquest, work on your Inquisitors until they're ready to be used. There are some great videos out there of how to get some of these feats done.
Yeah.
You only need 1 red crate if you get the $9.99 one. And even if you don't, let's say you get 3 gold crates, then you just have to wait 1 month later for the next conquest
get it
to
the full
finish
play
it
round. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So I think again, it's certainly less grindy. It's as grindy as the last one. It's nowhere near as grindy as the previous ones. They were just disgusting.
No, those were this one's nothing
ranked.
takes the case for the dad bod both.
I'm pleased.
Jeez,
yeah. I'm very pleased.
That was horrible. This one's gross. Not. This is close, but there's nothing that's ever going to come close to that one. I was about to pull up my facial hair on that conquest. I actually ranted on that one. I went off on that one because I'm in sector 4 and I couldn't use my GLs because Empire with a full stamina team was destroying my SLK on Ray, and I just lost him. Like, okay, this has got to end. This is ridiculous. I don't mind if I can't use my troopers. Okay, I get it. Sector 4, sector 5. But my Ray team with full stamina, I need to take a turn. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I know.
You guys have lost your minds on that one.
No, absolutely. Guys, we're going to finish this chat up today. I hope it cleared up a few things from our opinion. If you didn't like my comments, I ain't no shill. Make no mistake. I'm always going to say
that's
what
such
I'm
a cop out. I hate.
And if you don't like that,
saying.
then tough.
I hate that
because that's just how I roll. I've always been that way, and I ain't going to change either. If you don't like it, that's on you. Love you guys. Hit the subscribe button, please. Get us your comments. Let us know what you guys think down below, and we'll be back next week, of course, with some 3v3 action, boys. This is going to be full on. Grid, you ready for 3v3? You like a bit of 3v3? You're a fan?
I do.
Yeah,
I am. I'm a fan of 3v3. I'll, I guess, just kind of say, within reason. I'm really interested to see how this 3v3 is going to go with all these additions that we've had, between Talon, Kyle Katarn, Iden, Starkiller, Lord Vader. There's so much stuff that's been added.
Fennec, Wampa.
Omicrons. All those different Omicrons that have been added. Since previous 3v3. And the previous 3v3, I had a really good pulse on. I had my finger on the pulse. I'm going to be honest. I felt really good about it. That's where my win streak started. I was 41-0.
Yep.
I didn't lose a single match, and that started with 3v3 because I really enjoyed. People can stand out a little bit more with some of the theory crafting. It doesn't replace if your opponent has 25 GLs and you don't have any, but you start to see some of the people who have fun, making some theory crafted teams and coming up with interesting combinations. And
Yep.
there's a lot of ways that it can, like, it's just kind of fun. It almost feels, Raging Elephant always says it, and I think I agree that it almost feels like a different game.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just play around with it because all of a sudden, you see Gas on defense, and you're like, oh no. And then you got Bam Hanchui destroys it,
Yeah.
and you can come up with all these fun little ways to make these 3v3 teams work. And you just have to think about it a little bit different. And personally, I enjoyed that. I feel like this last 5v5 GAC was getting pretty stale, and I'm worried we're still just going to run into you got Executor in the back wall and you lose. But
Fleets.
I'm looking forward to it, and I hope it shakes things up and we can have a little bit of fun with it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we did 3v3 real quick on my stream before this, and it's amazing. It had like 20 teams for your offense, 20 teams for defense. I only need 15, so it gives you some wiggle room too, depending on if you want to be tougher on defense or offense or how you want to play it and stuff. So I think the thing that I'm kind of telling people is there's some traditional teams out there like Ray, there's some Ray teams and some other things, but we're mixing it up with some of the teams that we did here earlier. And I'm going to be testing some stuff. I think we all are, right?
Yeah.
There's some teams that are pretty standard, CLS, 2PO, 3PO. There's some teams like that exist still, but there's stuff like, what am I doing with Fennec?
Yeah, like
about that tonight, like
Iden.
How am I going to kick the crap out of Lord Schmader still? And and Iden was one, and and there were some other teams like we did Echo Rex 5 as a Bad Batch team. We did some crazier stuff like that. We're like, this could really be interesting, or it could be trash. I don't know yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of fun. I'm not the biggest fan of 3v3, but I do agree with you on this grid. Coming up with these teams, it's a lot of fun to interact with the community and try to talk about these different teams and why we're thinking about using these teams and these combinations. And there's so many with 3 that there is in 5s. 5's pretty straightforward. Either you've got the counter or you don't, and there's only so many counters you can have.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. So yeah. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Smack that subscribe button, hit the follow, get the comments in. Back next week with some heavy duty GAC action. Can't wait, guys. We'll see you then.